I'm Ian Harvey. You can find out more about me and connect with me via my on-screen LinkedIn QR code. What I'm going to share with you today is a crucial ingredient for OKR success. Without this capability, you will never progress above a 5 or 6 out of 10 for OKR mastery. It's a crucial ingredient that is nearly always missing. A very recent and quite typical client engagement for me involved a smart CEO who wants to improve strategic execution. They wanted to use OKRs to bring their strategy to life, and they know data is crucial. Working with the leadership team, we talked about the value and importance of metrics. As we delved deeper, there was a growing recognition around the table of the gap they had. They lacked the insights they really needed. They had great intuition, elements of metric insights, but needed to see them in the context of the bigger picture. We worked together to sharpen their strategy, and something that was quite common happened. As a follow-on piece of work, they asked me to help them build out the data model we'd outlined in those sessions. This is a frequent next step beyond strategy and OKRs for me. It is one of the most valuable things I do for an organization. In today's session, I'm going to share the foundations of those tools so you can get started and build your models. In my experience, these are the two biggest hurdles that stop organizations having the impact they crave with OKRs. Now, if you don't know what a good strategy is, drop me a line, we can chat about that separately. We're here to focus on the second belief, and I will arm you with some techniques to start building your capabilities around metrics. Let's emphasize your one key takeaway from today's session. This is the one thing I want you to understand and try and resolve in your business. Without a persistent data model, your ability to master OKRs is limited. Just take a moment and absorb that. I think of OKR maturity like a curve. These things are not linear or binary, but these are the techniques and capabilities that drive you towards mastery. These capabilities help you connect OKRs to your most crucial outcomes, like revenue. Metric maturity coupled with strategy is the glass ceiling holding back so many organizations. I'm going to help you break through that today. We're going to see how our model helps us use OKRs to drive business impacts. Without a model, many things are much harder. We don't know the metrics that represent the underlying health of our organization. We don't know how they fit together. We struggle to focus because we don't know what metric is the most important now. And we have a problem identifying leading metrics. These are the metrics that we can influence in the shorter term with our actions, but connect to longer term business impact. Without a hub model, it's hard to visualize our strategy and consider it as a whole. As we'll see, setting goals is hard. It's difficult to break out of the output thinking mindset without an holistic view of metrics. Finally, it's hard to make that real connection to make our execution the tool that involves and adapts our strategy. Now, I've always considered OKRs to be a strategic tool, and it seems the world has caught up. I noticed that more of the conference talks, more of the blog posts, and more of the tool vendors are referring to OKR in terms of its relationship to strategy. Specifically, OKRs are now frequently described as a strategy execution framework. I think this is a positive step. OKR has taken on the role of connecting strategy and execution. Historically, this has been regarded as a challenge for all organizations. In fact, Roger Martin would tell us that separating the two makes no sense. For most, bringing them closer together is a big step. The challenge is that strategy is a much thornier concept than goals. We're regularly reminded what strategy isn't. Strategy isn't a plan, isn't OKRs, it's not a goal. I have a simple definition. Strategy is an evolving view of how we will win. In essence, strategy is a set of choices that helps us narrow down our markets, create a winning aspiration, and help us build the capabilities needed to win. That winning aspiration is much clearer when it's articulated with a strong model of the data that runs through it. This helps us transform the strategy from a tablet of stone to a living perspective on our winning aspiration, something that adapts. And based on this photo, one piece of strategic advice: don't carry a briefcase in a 100-meter race. What a strategy consists of is important. I'm a huge fan of strategic narrative. This describes a strategy a little like a story. It aims to connect people in the organization with a clear direction. We may supplement that with some charts. Ideally, we'll also have a longer form version of the document. We can even share the research that underpins the strategy. These are artifacts I help organizations build. All we do next is connect that strategy to execution via OKRs. Bingo! I hope at least a few of you are familiar with the cultural reference. As our confused South Park gnome is telling us, there is a big question mark here. Strategies aren't usually written with metric ready to drop into your OKRs. Hopefully they do articulate strategic hypotheses, but there is a missing step. OKRs make progress visible because they use metrics. Strategies primarily deal in qualitative statements, but behind it there is at least an implied set of metrics. What great OKR consultants have known for some time is that such a model is essential. I'm going to delve into a simple example using a kind of metrics model called a metrics tree. You may also hear it called a KPI tree. We're going to create one for an imaginary edtech organization that I often use for these examples. They've created a strategy, it's built on research, and it is mindful that they don't have all the answers. The strategy has adaptive elements. Our edtech realizes that they need to do a better job of retaining subscribers. This is at the heart of their current strategic thinking. They also believe that upping the exam pass rate will lead to more renewals. Now they want to build their data model as previously they've struggled with that strategy to OKR gap that our gnomes hopefully pointed out. Staring at an empty page can be tricky. Here are a few different techniques to help get you started. I encourage you to check these out if you're unfamiliar with them. The Heart Metrics framework is a user experience evaluation method developed by Google. It focuses on 5 key areas: happiness, engagement, adoption, retention, and task success. This framework helps teams measure and improve the impact of changes on users. The Pirate Metrics model is a framework used by businesses to measure and optimize customer behavior across 5 key stages: acquisition, activation, retention, referral, and revenue. So AARRR, hence R, Pirate. Okay, a sales funnel is a model that outlines the stages potential customers go through from first becoming aware of a product to making a purchase. It is depicted as a funnel because the number of potential customers decreases at each stage. Finally, a customer journey map, which we will discuss next. These are all useful models that you may use to wish together to build your full metrics picture. They're not mutually exclusive. We're going to use the customer journey map as a starting point. A customer journey map is a visual representation of the process a customer goes through to achieve a goal with your company's product or service. This tool has broad application and can provide great customer insights. It helps us better understand our customers and the touch points we have with them. So let's see a basic customer journey map for an edtech. Our users are working towards passing public exams. We give them the lessons and mock tests to help. On a simple level, we express their journey from site visit through to exam passed. They commence a trial, complete some valuable lessons, pay for a subscription, pass some tests, and finally, hopefully, they pass exams. This journey reflects the customer goal when using our product. Keeping in mind customer goals is crucial. This is a useful overview, but we're going to need to dig deeper to get any real insights or value. One approach to building a model is to work backwards from the events closer to the customer or business goal, or in this case, the student goal. Let's drill down into the trial side. What kind of events can lead up to a user starting a trial? Here are a few that come to play for us. We can look at traffic, people watching product videos. They may check customer review sites. And finally, the sign-up rate can be affected by the ease of sign-up on our site. Importantly, these are all measurable and things we can improve. We're keeping it simple, and I'm sure you can imagine extra depth and nuance here. Now let's drill down another branch, as it's more interesting for this example. We want to retain customers, so the renewal branch is central. We believe that there are 3 important factors for the renewal. Naturally, the customer wants to pass the exam. They will need a selection of subjects to learn. We also note from our data that when people need to contact the help desk, the outcome of the call has a bearing on renewal rate. Needing support isn't necessarily a bad thing. Getting bad support certainly is. Okay, so our strategic hypothesis is that the students who pass pre-tests on mock exams are more likely to pass exams and to renew their subscriptions. When we looked deeper at our data, we saw that the opportunity for students to follow different learning paths was a big factor in their success. And what we have identified here, and the arrows point at, are leading indicators. This is a fundamental concept for OKRs and crucial to achieving outcomes, and our metrics model has helped us identify them. Further, our belief is that we can beat the competition by offering personalised learning paths. This means we need to understand the connections between knowledge objects as expressed in our knowledge graph. We also have to ensure that there are different lessons available to teach the same topic. I hope at this point that the connection to OKRs is becoming clearer. We're identifying metrics that underpin our strategy. So, some OKRs from that. The objective: create a flexible learning model to increase pass rate. First key result: top 25% most failed topics have a modular graph allowing for bite-sized component lessons. A knowledge graph is a way of representing the connection between areas of knowledge. By making it granular, we can create more focused lessons. Our hypothesis is that when a student is struggling with a topic, a focused small lesson can help them. Key result: increase failed topics that have at least 3 high-quality lessons available from 15 to 85%. Now we need to define and measure high quality, and this may sound a little output-like, but the secret is in attracting high-quality materials. Our data has told us that 80% of the failures in tests is concentrated on 25% of the topics. We believe that creating modular, high-quality materials for those topics will allow us to choose different learning pathways for the students. Now, one of the challenges I often see for teams is that their first couple of OKR settings are fine. They have metrics at hand. What our model does is give those metrics context and give us a framework for what's next. Let's assume our approach to improve the pass rate had the desired effect, but our strategy tells us we have an additional opportunity. We believe we can improve exam pass rates by giving students lessons they engage with and complete. We believe that we can achieve that engagement by increasing the breadth of educators and ensuring more learning objects are covered. This sets us up for the next quarter. Our model makes the connection between strategy and execution much clearer. Some notes to help you create a persistent model. Make sure it connects to your strategy very explicitly. Use the same terms as you do in your strategy. Now, relationships between nodes in our tree are hypotheses. You need to describe those. Explain why you think those connections are valid. Document your mechanisms for measure. Update it as you learn and capture the data and keep it fresh. Now, this is linked to the document and the mechanism for measure. You need to populate this KPI tree. It's no good as just a static view. You need to see the data in it. Now we have very happy gnomes. Phase 1, create strategy. Phase 2, build model. Phase 3, write OKRs. I'll leave you with that one key takeaway again. Without a persistent data model, your ability to master OKRs is limited. Thank you for listening. I'm Harvey. You can connect with me on LinkedIn. It's been an absolute pleasure.